Hello, everybody. This is the officially unofficial Geek Channel Spoilertastic Weekly Comic Review. My name is Carrie Quinn, and I'm here to tell you about what I thought of the comics I read this past week. And while last week was a very, you know, heavy list of books, this week isn't so much. So hopefully we can get through this ASAP. As always, please take a look at the description. We've got information there in the description, news you can use. And also, please like, share, comment, and subscribe. I don't think I've said that recently. So please share with your friends, you know, um, trying to, trying to affect that algorithm here, and get more subscribers because that's trying to reach more people, and that's really, yeah. So, all right, guys, we're going to get into the comics in just a moment, but roll that intro first because I made that and I'm still pretty proud of it. So, roll the intro. And y'all, just in case you're wondering, I made that intro using Canva. Hashtag not a sponsor, but I can tell you one thing, it's pretty easy to use Canva. So if you're wanting to, maybe if you don't have a lot of experience doing things like this and you're wanting to do stuff like this, definitely Canva has a free option. That's what I've been using. So it's a lot of fun to use it as well. I use it in different aspects of what I do creatively. And so, yeah, that's just one of the things I use to do that intro. The music is also like is regular YouTube available music. And so, yeah, but anyways, guys, the comics, spoilertastic form, meaning that when we talk about these, there's a possibility that some spoilers might come out. I try to keep it as spoiler light as possible, but in order to tell you exactly what I think of some of these books, there might be a little bit slight spoiler slippage. And so, if that's the case, that's the case. I'm warning you now. If you care about spoilers in any degree, you probably want to wait until you're done reading your books from last week before you watch this video. But do come back if you do have to go finish reading your books. Because, like I said before, like, share, subscribe. Tell me what you thought of the comics that I'm about ready to talk about. And let's go ahead. As always, these are in no particular order. However, I will tell you when we get to our top 3 books. And that's cause for, celebration, I guess, whatever. Let's get into this, guys. All right, so the first book we're going to talk about Dynamite Comics, Alice Cooper, #2, Rodney Barnes and Eva Mena with the Stuart Sager cover. Um, I had the opportunity to meet Stuart Sager with the first issue, and he came by the shop that I'm going to now and signed some of them. So I also got a signed copy of this one as well. Um, so this is continuing off where we left off. It's kind of a whole Charlie Daniels Devil Went Down to Georgia kind of storyline here. With except instead of it being Charlie Daniels and his fiddle going up against the basically up against the devil, Satan, and his fiddle made of gold. This is the devil going up against Alice Cooper, um, because the devil is kind of a bluesy artist. Alice Cooper is a rock artist. If you were not already aware, I feel like most people probably, if you're looking at this, probably know who Alice Cooper is. If you don't know who Alice Cooper is, well then, guys, get thee to YouTube and watch some Alice Cooper. One of my favorite songs by him is actually a song called Poison. Came out back I think like late 80s, early 90s, I think. Um, but anyways, Alice Cooper, Welcome to My Nightmare. It's another song by him. Most people have probably heard No More Mr. Nice Guy. It goes, No more Mr. Nice Guy. No more. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. You heard that and you're like, oh, if you weren't sure who Alice Cooper is, you heard that and you're like, oh, okay, yeah, that's Alice Cooper. And that's Alice Cooper. Um, you know, I love Alice Cooper. Um, Not only his music, but his overall public persona is really cool. And I think it's kind of cool that they have this comic going on where basically it's Alice Cooper versus the devil. And I really dig it. I do. I'm gonna tell you right now though that it seems like this issue was a little bit more of a slower pace than the first issue. Um, which it's fine. Sometimes you have things that are kind of like slowing down the pace a little bit, but this is issue 2. I'm not sure if it's really like, and we'll see where issue 3 takes us, because we did kind of leave it off on a cliffhanger. Alice Cooper basically walks in on a set that the devil is doing in a club, and yeah, so in this issue, Gabriel is talking to Alice Cooper backstage after a show. He equips Alice Cooper with a weapon of sorts, but it's a weapon that makes sense for the overall theme of the story. He bequeaths Alice Cooper with a special guitar. This guitar, when Alice plays or strums like a note on it, will do nothing to regular people, but it is basically a demon fighting machine. Okay, so when Alice encounters people, he's not sure if they're demons or not out to get him. He strums a note on the guitar, and they go. They make basically what it looks like is they make like you guys remember in God, Infinity War, where at the end some of the Thanos goes like that, and like some of them started disintegrating into sand. It kind of looks like that in the art of the book here, Alice Cooper #2. So Alice Cooper is really still kind of the unwilling participant, but he's like, okay, fine, I gotta, I mean, at least I got this guitar to help me, which he does get to test out, and it does help him. However, we now ended the book with encounter between Alice and the devil, about ready to go down. Okay, the devil is, of course, wanting to prove that they are the greatest rock greatest musician of all time, and they've taken out a lot of their in the first issue you see them taking a lot of their competition, and what's left is Alice Cooper, which is why it's up to Alice Cooper to defeat the devil. um like I said, a little bit of a slower pace compared to the first issue, it feels like. Art is still customary between the two issues. It's just fun. It's not anything earth shattering that you're going to be reading when you're reading a book like this. It's just meant to be fun and funny at times. And yeah, you're not really, it's an okay book. It's an okay book. It's an okay book. And we'll see how the pacing goes with the next issue, considering the um, end of this issue, and see where it goes from here. So, overall, not bad. Not bad at all. Um, the next book we're going to talk about is actually one that, if you're in your shop, a lot of shops were given this multiple copies to give away for free, to offer it for free. This is Volt Comics Unnatural Order #1, Yost, Rodriguez, Kelly, and Ann World. Design doing those letters. We know Ann World Design does a lot of letters in the industry. So whenever you see the name Ann World, you know it's Ann World Design with that lettering. Guys, honestly, I really like this. Like they could have charged me for it, and I would have been hunky dory, with that because I liked it. I liked it a lot. I wasn't expecting to like something so much that was free, free. And because it's one of those things where like you get what you pay for kind of thing. Like, why are they offering it for free? And honestly, I still have that question. Why were you guys offering this for free? You could have been making money off this. Um, I love this. So you start out, and there one of the things that I like about it is that there's a lot of things in this issue one, and I like this. When I see this in other comics, with storyline, I it's something that appeals to me as well, with other stories where you're reading, you get an idea of kind of the basis of everything going on, but there's definitely a what the heck is going on factor with this one, that the what the heck is going on here factor. You guys know what I'm talking about when I'm talking about the what the hell is going on factor. I talked about it a few weeks ago, involving Jeff Lemire with Tenement, and basically anything I've been reading by Jeff Lemire lately has a lot of the what the heck is going on, but still appealing because of what is there. And what is there is a basis for what could be a really interesting time travel story. You guys, I'm being real with you here. And there's the cover um shows some of this in a really interesting way that I did not notice until after. Probably I read this yesterday and I looked at it again today to kind of hand it off to Bizarro Fet Joe to read. Um, you have the Wicker Men over here, right? And this is definitely part of the story. But then you have a cityscape over here with planes flying, which is totally outside of the realm, time, um, time and history wise, with the rest of the story. The rest of the story is set very much in an ancient Britain, ancient Celtic world. You've got you've got Romans, you've got witches. Like consider for a second, pagan witches, druid pagan witches back in the day, Celtic pagan witches back in the day in the world of basically what UK and Ireland is now. Um, but with actual like physical powers, like supernatural physical powers rather than just being, witches praying to gods, that kind of thing. Um so you have that. You have Vikings, the Norse, very much like Norse barbarians. You have these old like Britain, like um basically war maidens, like 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 tribal queen type figures. um and if you know anything about ancient Britannian history like that, um these were kind of like tribal queens, and that's kind of what I got off of like one of the characters, was that she was a warrior tribal queen, and just a warrior tribal female warrior as a whole here. Okay, so basically what's going on here is you have this group of people encountered this witch, and the witch is dealing with kind of a group of wolves, And these wolves seem like they kind of are under the effect or power of the druid. Now, the druid is something that is a person that is in power, that is using uh, the power of the tree of. I'm gonna assume here because they didn't actually come out and say it, but the tree of life. So you're having like different things borrowed from like all over the place, ancient civilization wise and ancient religion wise. So you have that. You have this. You have a group of them. Coming upon this woman. Trying to get away from these wolves. Well, they help her, and she starts traveling with them because they all have the same um, goal in mind, is to defeat this druid dude. And they hear about from one of their informants about this um prisoner they have to go help, that's going to help them, and that they've heard about. So they split up. One group is going towards one way, the other group is going towards the Wicker Men to find this person. Well, when they get there, guys, it's literally one of these things where it's like, I love these moments where it's like you feel the book is lightning on that one end of the book where you're turning pages, right? And then you're like, okay, so what is the kicker? I mean, this has been a pretty good story. There's been funny moments, throughout it, especially when it comes to the barbarian that's in the group. And you get to the point where it's like it's almost done. It's almost done. And you flip the page and then something big old cliffhanger extraordinary happens. And it brings you to the point of, well, what the heck? What the heck is going on? Did not see this coming. Yeah, did not see this coming. That ending, did not see it coming. Did not see it coming. They encounter I'm going to go ahead and tell you guys. They encounter there, but I'm not going to tell you. I'm going to tell you, but I'm not going to tell you. They encounter the prisoner that they've heard about, but I'm not going to tell you what's special about him. I'm going to tell you, get to your LCS, see if they've got any more copies of Unnatural Order, and figure that out for yourself. This is done by Vault, man. And you know what? I have been really enjoying anything that I've been reading from Vault lately, because Vault does the barbaric stuff, and I gotta say, barbaric has been, and the different barbaric stories have been some of the best stuff that I've read in recent times, that hasn't been a part of the big two. Um, really liking most of the stuff that I'm finding from Vault lately. Um, and I really like this thing where it's like, it's entertaining, and you're sitting there and you're like, I don't know what the heck is going on here, but I like it. I think I'm going to like this journey. And so, yeah, I'm definitely on board for Unnatural Order #2. Thank you for the free comic vault. And I'll definitely purchase. I'll pay for the next one. Yeah, I'll pay for the next one. Unless, of course, you want to give that to me free as well. My name is Carrie Quinn. My email is officially unofficialgeek@gmail.com if you want to. Um, though I definitely will pay for it this time, um, if need be. I can definitely do that. Okay, next book that we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about Dark Horse Comics, The Midnight Show #2. And guys, I really like this a bunch. It's Cullen Bunn, Brian Hertz, Bill Crabtree, Jim Campbell. And this is, what's good about what's okay, so how this is similar to my sentiments involving the Alice Cooper comic is that we do have um a regular progression of what's going on. It's the progression you kind of saw coming from the first issue. Um, but instead of it just being da 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 da, we're going like da 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 da. We're going da 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 da, and there's a crescendo. There's more of a crescendo going on here with the storytelling in this book than say there was with Alice Cooper. I mean, the thing is with Alice Cooper, it was like da 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 da, right? So it's just like if you were playing music, right? And if you ever been a musician, ever been in the high school band, whatever, and you're going along and you're going da 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 da, same volume, not much change to um volume, tempo, that kind of thing. No change to any of that. No fucking coda that you have to go back and do. Okay, so you have da 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 da, and then all of a sudden, vroom, it's all of a sudden you have a for fortissimo, play freaking loud as fuck. Okay, that's kind of how Alice Cooper looked, throughout reading that book. But here you have Midnight Show, right? So you have, but you have a crescendo. Um, that's more apparent with Midnight Show, in that we have coming out all the different monsters from all the different monster movies that this guy supposedly played, and they're all coming in to the world as it is, and the world is also changing to meet that world. So and when you walk out, when the our main characters walk out of the movie theater, they're not in their town anymore. They're in like past time London, England kind of area. And at least that's what it looks like. And um they just end up realizing that all the different monsters are now fighting each other for um for what's the word I'm looking for? Uh Supremacy. They're fighting each other for supremacy. Okay? And and it's one of those things where it's like you get the different groups coming out and fighting each other and fighting the humans, um and but they're also fighting each other. So like they're fighting for until you get to the point where the realization happens with our human characters, with our regular people, that they're all fighting each other for supremacy. And that's yeah, that's the book. That's it. Um so not bad, not bad at all. I'm gonna tell you that right now. Not bad at all. Let's see here. What do we got going on here? We've got whew, one more to talk about before we talk about our top three. This is something that was in my top three previously, and please do not think that because it was not in my top three this time that it changes my feelings about this book at all, because it doesn't, because it very barely barely missed the top three. um, I picked my top three this week based um on two of the issues in the top three caused emotional reactions in me as I was reading them. The third one was there's just this beautiful complexity to the story, and we'll get to it. But this is still really great. And that is Vampirella number two, Vampirella Dead Flowers number two, Frazetta, Freeman, and Locatelli. Guys, this is the continuation of the Dead Flowers. Um, storyline. There's a couple different Vampirella centric stories going on right now, and I've jumped into the Dead Flowers one, and this is set back in the late 60s. And when we last left Vampirella, she was fighting the father of the little girl who was having issues, supernatural issues, um, because he had become a werewolf. Apparently, he's a werewolf. Um, this cover though is absolutely gorgeous. This the Perillo cover, beautiful. Um, when and this is one of those books as well where there's a solid, like just solid storytelling to the point where like I mean just you've got her fighting, you got her assistant trying to help the little girl, and you're finding out what's going on with the there's this really cool page, guys. I'm going to show it to you. Oh my god, it's so awesome. I am loving the kind of art in this story. It's really kind of cool. Um you find out what's going on with like another page like that too. Hold on. You find out what's going on with him and why that's all happening. This is another page just like it. Holy shit. 2 splash pages in here. Just really just kicking ass, taking names. Um and then, they're all kind of breaking it down what's going on. How did they get this way? And you have um Francis Moore is, the fetching's apprentice, and where she fits in with all this. And she shows up and she's just like, you know what? You don't even know. Um, it's so good. It's so much. Um, I'm really enjoying it. Like I said, I those 2 splash pages alone, those 2 full 2-page layout action, moments in that fight the same fight. In the same fight, guys. Like, it's not like they fought and then, like, it was over for a bit and then they fought again. No, it was the same fight. And I love it. I love art like that where it's like 2 freaking, like, there's like tons of, like, really, like, crazy, like, big statements. All right. And I love the big statements in the art of this book that is making the color not being realism, but not being something that's also monochromatic. It's not monochromatic. It's just um the the choices color wise and with the art. Definitely, I'm gonna have to think about this for a bit, and probably I'm going to try to figure out exactly what I'm thinking when it comes to issue 3. But yeah, yeah. Okay, so what we're going to do, guys, is we are in the top 3 books for me this week, and let's get into it because let's do this. This is first one we're going to talk about is Batman, Catwoman, The Gotham War, Scorched Earth, the shocking conclusion to the Gotham War. And we've got Zdarsky, Howard, Hawthorne, Morales, Von Grawbadger. Grawbadger. I am probably saying that wrong. I'm making the grimace face because I'm sure that it's like something like fancier than the way I'm saying it, but like and Fajara Jr. With the lovely Jorge Jimenez cover here. Um, and I said just a moment ago that the reason why the 3 books that are in my top three made it. It's because I had emotional responses to two of them. And this is one of them. I have a love, an appreciation of the character Jason Todd. And if you have been reading the Batman Catwoman Gotham War, you know, basically, um, Jason was kidnapped at one point by Batman and shot up with something that makes him have a horribly um, adverse emotional reaction to violence and fear involving violent ends. Um, he's finding it very hard right now to be brave and follow through on things. And there is something where basically eh, Batman and Catwoman decide for the greater good of Gotham that they have to um, take care of the bigger threat rather than fighting each other anymore and being petty with each other, fighting each other. They have to fight Vandal Savage. And what Vandal Savage is trying to do is he is trying, as far as they can tell in the beginning, he's trying to create, collect shards of the meteor that still exists that caused him to be immortal in the first place. And he is promised immortality to a bunch of Catwoman's thief army. So a bunch of them are going against her and trying to do this. Well, what they end up finding out when Batman and Catwoman decide they're going to work together is that um, they're not pulling them together to draw together their essence to give them all mortality. What they're doing is they're using all the different pieces of the original meteorite as a homing beacon. Now, why am I saying that? Well, it's because it's a homing beacon for a big meteorite thought to be just like the original one that caused Vandal Savage to be immortal in the first place. Now, this is a huge fucker, okay? So they're dealing with that. Now, the rest of the Bat family, minus Jason Todd because he's having his issues, um, is taking care of all the different rogues that have decided to converge on one area at once to um, help Vandal Savage as well. So all of them, you got all of them. You got Oracle, doing her Oracle thing. You've got the Robins. You've got Nightwing. You got all these people fighting those characters, the rogues. When I say the rogues, you've got Professor Pig, you've got Harvey Dent, Two-Face, so on, so forth, all that jazz, everything, right? So they're taking care of them. And you got Catwoman is also getting her main basically I'm gonna say that Dario is kind of like Catwoman's Robin. He's going by the name of Tomcat as well. So Dario is trying to put things together for Catwoman as well because Dario, obviously for obvious reasons, is Catwoman's ride or die. Okay. Um, and so Catwoman goes off to try and help Batman. And when they get there, they realize this is actually a homing beacon. There's going to be a big ass, meteor that could wipe out a good portion of that area. And we're not talking just Gotham, but like surrounding area if it hits. All right? Okay. So they're like, trying to, change things. They're trying to do what they can. They're it is completely to the point of, holy crap, we're gonna lose, y'all. Like, it is at the point of, holy crap, there is nothing we can do. We're gonna lose. And then Deus Ex Machina, Jason Todd comes along and gets the idea that he is going to fly the bat plane directly into the meteor to destroy it. He is going to ride the bat plane directly into the goddamn meteor hurtling towards Earth. And he's just like, you know what? I'm gonna do this. And I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna do this thing, even though I'm scared shitless. And I hope you realize, old man, that you were wrong about me. And at that moment, when you're reading it, like, I don't know about anyone else here that read this, that moment when you're reading it, you're like, oh my god, Jason Todd is going to sacrifice himself for everyone. He's sacrificing himself. He is going to allow himself to be killed riding the fucking bat plane into the meteor to destroy it. I gotta tell you something. Like, that speech that he gives when he's like, you know what, guys, I'm on it. And, like, this is my top 3, so let's get into it. Let's go there, okay? Let's talk about this for a second. Because this is absolutely just goddamn. Goddamn. Okay. They discover, like, here that it's a homing beacon. It's not what they were thinking. You got them fighting you got the Bat family fighting everyone. Holy crap, man. And then they're fighting there, and like, so okay. All right. So they got Oracle sitting there like, I'm trying to alert national defense, maybe they can. And she's like, wait, I think the Batwing is headed towards it. And Batman's like, that's impossible. Like, I haven't finished installing the autopilot. I'm assuming he's going for autopilot on that. Because he's like, and then he realizes that Jason is doing it, and there he is. And he says, don't sound so surprised. And Batman's like, you can't. There's got to be another way. And he's like, hey, I need to concentrate. So I'm going to go. Yeah. You don't have to do that. And Batman's like, you don't have to do this. We can. And he's yelling like out into the space to him. He's like, I'm going to go, old man. And you can sit with the fact that you were wrong with me. You were wrong about me. And like, and I think that, like, yeah. And at that moment, everyone is in the position where they're like, and the thing goes straight into it, breaks up the meteor, and everyone is like, oh my god, it's just like, everyone there is like thinking he just sacrificed himself to save everyone. Now, luckily, that all happens, right? And they're fighting still, and Catwoman falls into the hole of the meteor, and like she falls in. So like instead of like oh my god, she falls in, and he can't find her. Batman can't find her, and like he helps Marquis get out, Marquis Scandal get out, because she gets screwed over by her father, of course, and Selina falls, and all he can do is just sit there. He's holding on um to Scandal, and he's just yelling for her, and she's falling. And the only person there when he's sitting there, he's like, Selina, I'm so sorry, Batman is, and he's just sitting there, he's just like wrecked. He's like, and then there's a hand that just goes on his shoulder, and it's Jason, and it's like, yeah, see, emotional reaction. Oh man. And then they're still like, it's 2 weeks later, they still don't know where she is, if she's made it out, or anything. Eventually you find out, all's well for Selena. She made it out, and everything, but Batman is definitely very much on the whole idea of he has to go it alone, and the new leaders of the Bat family need to be um Nightwing and Oracle. But then the moment where oh my god, it's really beautiful. She just like she makes herself known that she made it out, Selena does, to Batman. And you get like a little narration where she's like, I love him, but whatever, like I do love him. And it's like that moment, he's just like, he thought he lost both Jason and Selena. And then there's that shoulder that just comes on. Like at first you're like emotional because you're thinking Jason Todd just sacrificed himself to save everybody. He is now dead, right? Presumed dead. But like he used like some ejector type thing to get out of that. And then there he is, and he's like, okay, I'm here, still, you know. So yeah, that's basically the end of the Gotham War. As far as we can tell right now, there's going to be two different stories going on with Selena. If you've read any of the previews, Selena's going to go off on her own, do a kind of an eat, pray, love kind of situation, it seems like. And Batman is going to fall further and further into the Zur-En-Arrh whole situation. Um, so we'll have to see what happens there. That's the end of the Gotham War. And yeah. Next book that we're going to talk about, we're going to go over to Marvel for a moment. We're going to talk about Scarlet Witch number 10, which is the end of this particular story of the arc of Scarlet Witch. That's just a gorgeous cover, isn't it? Yeah. Um, so Scarlet Witch, when we last left her, was about ready to fight the Hex Finder witch hunter, and you find out that Joseph, who was the younger clone of Magneto, was actually working with the Hex Finder, and so then you go into this whole oh gosh, the cat just like totally scared me. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Come here, buddy. Come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. You wanna be in the film? You wanna be on camera? Oh, come here, buddy. Oh. Oh, he jumped up on the desk and he scared me. This is Tom. This is Tom. Say hi, Tom. Hi. Hi, everybody. This is Tom. He's a little bugger that just scared me. Okay, you want to get down? Okay, you can get down. You gotta go that way, though. You can't go back on the desk. No? Okay, you want to. Come here. Come here, buddy. I love you. Yeah. Yeah. You don't want to be on the film? You don't want to be on the film? No? Okay, well, I'm going to put you down then. There you go, buddy. Whew. Yeah. Anyways. Oh my goodness. He has a way of doing that where he'll just jump up on one area of the desk. And if I'm not paying attention, totally freaks me out. I try to keep him off. He got upset and he grabbed a hold of my skin for a second. Um, yeah. Okay, anyways. And he was sitting right here next to me. He just didn't want to be on camera. Okay. Uh, so where am I? Where was I? Okay, yes. So Joseph is been kind of forced into this, and Darcy, in the middle of all their fight, is just like, who the heck are you? Um, there's only one person fighting over there that would try to save your life rather than let you, use you for something you don't want to do. And he gets the idea, and then he goes ahead and he sacrifices himself to help the Scarlet Witch. Um, so that was a little bit less emotional of a situation than um, the Batman Catwoman war, but still, I did get a little verklempt with that one. Let me see here. I forgot to talk about our group of creators here. Hold on a second. Steve Orlando, Sarah Pachilli, Frank William, VC is Corey Pettit. All right. So, yeah. All right. Anyways, God, that was hilarious. Just jumping up here and scaring me. Y'all got to see me scared for a moment. Um, I still can't get. Okay. They're both sitting in here. Um, so Joe and I live with a family. We rent a room and we have our two cats, and they have their two cats. And that was one of the ones that you just saw was Tom. Um, yeah. Um, that is the end of that arc of the Scarlet Witch, of which as a whole I very much enjoyed. Um, has ended up being one of my top books at least I think a few times. And that I believe the same writer is going to be back to write the next Scarlet Witch story, which is going to actually be a Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver team up, which I'm looking forward to, and I'm probably going to check that out as well. So yeah. Um, very much in retrospect liked the idea of her having a little metaphysical bookshop with the door of last resort, where she got to just be one of these things with the great power comes, like I can't speak now, with great power. I can't speak right now. Um, with great power comes great responsibility, kind of idea. Where she would help people coming through the door of last resort. I really like that storyline. But we'll see what happens with the next one. But last book we're going to talk about, guys, if you couldn't already figure that out, is going to be DC Comics, DC Detective Comics, number 1076. That's Rom V, Alexander Stewart, Waters, Mitten, Sharp, and Farrell. There's like a few. Like normally we have the beginning story, the normal like full length story. Excuse me, now I have hiccups. Full length story, and then plus one backup. There's like a few in here, and they really used their space well. It's a thick book. It's a thick boy. Let me get a water. Taste of water here. And it's really hard. This is another one of those situations where you're sitting there and you're like, I don't know where the heck this is going, but I'm liking the trip. Okay. I'm loving the trip. And so much complexities, so much here and there, and complex thought going into the not only the storyline but the structure of the storyline as a whole, as this saga, as this epic continues to fold onto itself, or open up layers, um like an onion when you're cutting it open, or a tree, like a tree when you're cutting it open, or and it's crazy. We have one of the first real inklings of the question of whether this whole storyline is based in continuity at all. um I have been talking about this with other people, and I don't, to me, it has seemed up until now that this is outside of continuity. However, we have we have mention of the Gotham War in this book by Selena Kyle, and basically stating that they haven't been, on the best of terms. They've had some stuff going on recently, and then she left. Which, if you were reading any kind of previews for Catwoman, you know that coming up, she's going to be leaving Gotham for a bit. And that she wished that he would come with her, but he didn't. And so that's the first solid thing that I've seen that's really made a mention of something that's happened recently that I can think of. Um, but it's definitely making it seem like the this is going on quite a bit in the future of the storyline with Batman. And so I don't know quite what to think of that. I know that we also had a few different entries of characters here that makes some people probably very excited. One of them being Azrael. We're gonna get to we're seeing Vengeance again, which is basically kind of the daughter of Bane. And we are seeing Father Valley again. Man, if you remember, Father Valley is a Rom V story creation. Father Valley was in Catwoman, his run of Catwoman, and he was hired by the Penguin and his associates to kill Selena Kyle as a retribution for her actions during the Joker War saga. If you're unfamiliar with the Joker War saga, check it out. I really enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun to read. But Selena Kyle, yeah, is definitely involved also in this, like I was mentioning. She's trying to figure out a way to find and save Batman, and she feels like she's going to have to probably put a team together. And one has to wonder if that team, how awkward it would be if that team ended up being Selena, Azrael, Father Valley, and Vengeance. Well, she does make a trip to talk to Commissioner Gordon to get Commissioner Gordon's, Gordon's insights and him on the up and up of the whole situation. Um, Gordon then goes and talks to Renee Montoya. Renee Montoya actually in this issue takes on the takes on. She, most people know that Renee Montoya is also the Question currently, and she is also the GCPD's commissioner. Well, when she can't get anything figured out as the GCPD commissioner, she dons the Question mask and she goes out and asks, the questions. So we have all these different storylines going on. And wow, it is just, this is so epic and crazy. And in this issue, you have the premiere of not only story by Rom V, but you have the premiere of art by Rom V in the, I believe it's the third tale, the third little, it's like a little 2-pager. Yeah, a little 2-pager. He did the art. It's lovely. Um, but yeah, this book, Detective Comics, has reached this level of entertainment plus artistic um artistic level that I really haven't seen a lot of these superhero big two books do. Um, and it's just been rather lovely, and I'm not even close to being tired of it yet. So obviously it is in my top 3 once again right here. We're in I believe an every other week setup right now with Detective Comics. I don't think it's every week. I think it's every other week. So um we'll be seeing more of this before the end of the month. And all that. Well, that's it, guys. That's all the books I had to talk to you about today. Um, I had a lot of fun talking about them. I had a lot of fun reading them. In particular, those top 3, like I said, either just completely epic stories or emotional moments to feel and really just got to me. And I loved it. And I hope you appreciated seeing me get freaked out for a moment when Tom jumped up on the desk when I didn't realize he was going to do that. Cats. Am I right? But anyways, guys, that's about it for this week. Please, like I said, take a look at the description. You got information about a recent book that I published of poetry and a little bit of short fiction. You got information about different things going on in the description. Please, we are in the last few days of the voting for the CBC Awards. If you have not voted for your girl, officially unofficial geek for best unknown channel, hopefully to be unknown no more, get thee to vote. And also, when you're out there, vote for some of our friends as well. You know who they are. And yeah, that's about it. Oh, yes. There's also a GoFundMe down in the description for a friend of the channel, Jen. Comics will break your heart. Going through a cancer battle, and she can use any help that you can give her. If you can give her, if anything, if you can't, throw some bucks her way. Share it so that maybe if somebody else has the capability, they can. Um, but regardless of all of that, that's about it for us this week. So until next time, keep your eyes and ears open. If you see something, say something. And remember, the complacent never make a difference. Until next time, this has been the officially unofficial Geek Channel Spoilertastic Weekly Comic Review. I'll be seeing ya. Bye.